Shalom, shalom. Christian Apologetic Ministry, Brother Nas. We're back again with another session. Um, Brother Avery and doing his thing. So here we have again Brother Avery and in a conversation with one of our Muslim brother, trying to break down the gospel about who is Christ and with some more questions he was addressing. So let's dive in and let's see how he's actually breaking this down to this brother. Again, I know we've been away for a long time, being busy. So we're going to try again to get back on track. All right, let's share this video and let's see what we can learn from Brother Avery and our Muslim brother. All right, let's go.
As a three-step process. Step one, you sweat. Step two.
That's just a little point there. All right. So you said that it doesn't make sense to you that there are three persons that share one nature.
Yeah, it's confusing. I mean, it's just confusing.
Okay. So I think that maybe understanding the difference between personhood and being or nature, understanding the distinction between that, I think that could probably help us. So when we say that God is one being in three persons, obviously we're not saying the same thing. These are two different categories. A being is what a thing is, the state of existence, right? Personhood is a conscious agent, right, with the ability to choose, act, has emotions, has a will, a mind, right? So what we're saying is that there are three persons that are within the nature of God, right? The being of God exists, and he exists as three distinct persons. And he's infinitely higher than us. We as human beings, we are one person for each human being, right? Each human being is one person, right? A rock is a being, but has no persons. It's not a person at all. A rock is a being, but it has no person, right? When we talk about God, we're saying God, the divine being, he is three persons. So if you have a follow-up.
Are you a STEM professional and are looking to apply for U.S. permanent residency? Then stay tuned, because today I'm going to be discussing
A question on that, you can go ahead and ask.
Okay, so you're saying they're equal. The three person are distinct and they're equal.
Yeah, they are equal ontologically. They are equal in their essence. So what they are equal as God.
They are all God and they are equal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they are. So they are equal in which sense they are equal?
In nature, they're equal in nature, in essence, in their being, they're equal. So they're eternal. They're all eternal. They're all knowing. They are all powerful. They're judge of the heavens and the earth. That's the sense in that they're equal.
So, but I think I have written in the Bible where Jesus says the Father is greater than I.
Yeah, he says the Father is. He says you should be happy because I'm going back to the Father. For the Father is greater than I. So in what sense is the Father greater than him? He's greater than him in when it comes to like his role and authority and status, because Jesus took on the form of a servant to serve the Father. When he took on flesh, he came down to take on flesh and walks amongst us. The Bible says that although he was in the form of God, he did not count equality with God something he needed to hold on to, but emptied himself, made himself of no reputation, and humbled himself by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men. So the Father is greater than Jesus in the sense that he submits to the Father's authority. He took the form of a servant to the Father.
So Jesus became human.
That is correct. He took on human
So
flesh. So he's both God and man at the same time. Both, he has the divine nature and he has a human nature. They're both united in the person of Christ.
So the human nature is limited and the God nature is unlimited.
Say that again.
The human nature is limited and the God nature is unlimited, right?
Yes. There's human limitations, but the divine nature has no limitations. Yes.
So how can you be limited and unlimited at the same time? I mean, how can both be together?
Well, how? I don't know, but I can only tell you what it is. When you have the divine nature that is unlimited, and then you have human nature that is limited, they're united in the person. It would be different if we're saying that the divine nature is limited and unlimited at the same time. That would be a contradiction. It's impossible. But having the divine nature that's unlimited and having a human nature that's limited, that's perfectly fine. It's not a logical contradiction there when it's united
But
in the person of the Son.
you said the human nature and the God nature is united. So if they are united, it means that God nature unlimited being and the human nature limited being is united. So if they are united, then it both cannot be. Jesus cannot be limited and unlimited at the same time, right?
So what I want to make sure it's clear what I'm saying. When I say it, I said that they are united in the person of Christ. So the person of Christ, he has both natures. He has both natures. He's fully God, fully divine, and he's fully man. So pertaining to his human nature has limitations. Pertaining to his divine nature is unlimited. And he can do that. He's God. He can take on a human nature without it diluting his divine nature, like the two natures, they don't mix. They're united in the person, but they don't mix in together. Like the human nature doesn't become a little bit more divine now, or the divine nature becomes less. No, that's not what happens. They don't mix. They are united in the person of Christ.
So if Christ has that unlimited power that he was God, so he cannot have a limitation because he is God, right?
Pertaining to his divine nature. Remember, again, yes, pertaining to his divine nature, he's unlimited. Pertaining to his human nature, he's limited. He walks, instead of teleports. He opens doors with his hands instead of just appearing in them. That's what he freely limited himself to do. If he wanted to, he could, like predicate,
What is a home warranty? It's a one-year service plan that helps cover costs when parts of your home systems and appliances break down due to normal wear. Home warranties protect what home insurance doesn't, so that everything in your house is protected, including your budget. It covers things like your AC, fridge, water heater, and plumbing. Things you may not have the skills, time, or extra cash to take on. Here's the best part. There's just one name to remember when a covered item breaks down. Ours. Contact American Home Shield online anytime or by the phone. You'll pay a preset service fee, and one of our local repair pros will call to set up the best time to come to your house and determine the problem. They'll start work to repair the covered item, and if it can't be fixed, we'll replace it. Learn more about American Home Shield home warranties at ahs.com.
Get ready for family vacation. We've got travel insurance, an RV full of snacks, and not a screen in sight. Our schedule is completely intense. We have a lot of ground to cover.
Some things of the divine nature, I guess to his human nature. Like for example, you see him after his resurrection, where he's free from human limitations now, right? He doesn't limit himself anymore to human limitations. But so you see Jesus appearing in closed rooms, you know, where he was not before, but then boom, he appears. Or you see him walking with his disciples and they can't recognize him, right? Even though he's walking with them, they can't recognize, they don't know, they think they're talking to a completely different man. And then he opens their minds and they can see him now, right? They see him for who he is. So you have these examples where post-resurrection of Christ, you see that he doesn't limit himself to those limitations anymore, although still possessing both natures.
So he has both nature and he can use that nature, right? Any one of the nature, wherever he wants, whenever he wants.
Well, that's just who he is. So yes, he can do whatever he wants.
So you said God can do anything, right? He can be limited and unlimited both at the same time because he's God, right?
He can take on a human nature and therefore have a nature that is unlimited and a nature that is limited. And that doesn't contradict. So yes.
So can be both at the same time? Can both nature act at the same time?
Can what? Can both what?
Can he can act on both nature at the same time?
Well, natures don't do anything, right? It's persons that do things. So natures don't act. They just are what they are. It's persons that do things. So whatever actions God does, you know, he does. Now he can think there will be things pertaining to that there will be things that are true of one particular nature that he may speak of and do or whatever. And there's things that he will speak of and do that's true pertaining to the divine nature, you know? So the incarnation, it's a special thing. The how is, you know, I don't know the how. I don't know how exactly that works.
It's something like mysterious nature, right? It's a mysterious thing.
Yeah, there is an element of a mystery to it. However, the truth of it is revealed to us.
But I think Corinthians 14:33 says God is not the author of confusion.
Yeah, there's a difference between there being a mystery to it and it being confusing. I'm not confused about the incarnation. I acknowledge that there's elements that I can't explain that go beyond my understanding, but I'm not.
That is a confusion.
I'm not confused about it. No, it's not.
Well, if I don't know the how.
Are you are you a Muslim? You're a Muslim, right? You said.
Yeah, I said I'm a Muslim.
Yeah.
Previously, I said to you that I'm a Muslim.
Would you agree that there are elements of God's nature, Allah's nature, that you don't understand?
It is called sifat, the attributes of God.
So,
you know sifat?
Yeah, the attributes.
You know sifat? Okay. Yeah, you know that.
So there's elements of his attributes, let's say, that go beyond your understanding. Would you agree?
No, but because I understand the attributes of the God, he's all loving, he's all merciful. We know the meaning of the merciful because we know the attributes of God because he has described himself.
Okay, so you know what you understand completely what all mercifulness is?
Yeah, merciful means the one who shows mercy.
Yeah, but you know.
All right, guys. So I have to pause the video for just a minute. These people, man, they attack the Bible. They misunderstood theology. They're trying to impose their understanding and do all kinds of things. And when you flip it on them, because they also have the same issue, and when you start questioning their theology, and then everything just break down. And this is what we're about to see right now. Watch.
What all merciful is, like you can comprehend what being all merciful is?
I didn't say all merciful. I said he's merciful.
Oh, okay. So he's just merciful. He's not all merciful, or let's say most.
What do you mean by all merciful, right?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the Quran calls him most merciful. He's the most merciful. Do you know what that means?
Most merciful, not all merciful. It's the most merciful.
Okay. What about would you consider like his shin or his hands that those are attributes of him?
Yeah, those are the attributes of God.
And do you believe that he really has a shin and really has hands, or how do you interpret
But he don't have he don't have the shin like you have, like we have the shin. You don't have a hand like you have, right?
So then what is the shin that he has?
He has a shin of completely different type,
How do you know that?
because it is described that Allah's shin is not the type of the shin of a human being.
So then how do you know what
It's
the shin?
completely different.
Well, no, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that his shin is completely different from a human being's shin. You're imposing that. How do you know what? Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm saying that his shin is not like human being, like we have shin bone, right? You don't have a shin like we have the shin bone.
How do you know? What's a shin?
Shin bone is it's shin bone. That's
Breaking news. Friday, 19th of April 2024. A secret banking loophole, known only to a handful of Americans, is set to explode in returns by Q3 and Q4 of 20.
we have in our leg.
Yeah. So if he says that he has a shin, and we know what a shin is, just like, for example, he's merciful. You said, I know what mercy is. So yes, I understand that. Well, you know what a shin is, but when Allah says he has a shin, you're saying, oh, well, no, it's not like what you understand a shin to be.
Yeah.
Do you see the inconsistency there?
Yeah.
So,
but I want to say something, that you say it's about the attributes of God. It is the shin, because the Jesus, on the other hand, is different, because it is the basic belief of Christianity, like that Jesus incarnate as a human form, right? It is the basic belief of Christianity. But to order to be Christian, you have to believe that Jesus incarnate as human form, and he took the flesh, and he was God and human both, right?
Well, yeah, but we're talking about the principle of mystery here. Like, when it comes to like the incarnation, I acknowledge that there's a element of mystery to it. That doesn't mean that I'm confused about it. But you said,
okay, I understand what you're saying now.
You understand what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Yeah. So there being an element of mystery to the incarnation, like there's a level to where I can understand and explain it, but really the how and the mode intricately, I can't. There's, that's beyond me, but I'm not confused about it. I accept it, and I know that it's of God. There are some things that, we can't explain. It's of God's nature. That's what we're talking about.
So you said, can you give me the verse where in the Bible where it gives you the information that Jesus is God?
Yeah, sure. So we have verses like, let me
write it down. Can we wait a second? I will write it down. I'm gonna read it.
Okay,
go ahead.
So you have, for example, you have Romans chapter 9, verse 5.
Okay.
You have Titus chapter 2.
Okay.
Verse 13.
Okay. Go ahead.
You have John chapter 1, verse 1.
Okay. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, right?
You got it. You combine that with verse 14 of the
Okay.
same chapter. So John chapter 1, verses 1 and verse 14.
Okay.
There's a lot, but just a few. That's just a few I'll give you.
Okay. So let's talk about John 1:1, right?
Okay. Oh, my bad. So there's one more. There's let me give you just one more. There's Revelation. Chapter 22.
Chapter 22.
Verse 13.
What does it say?
Jesus says that he is the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last.
I think it was a dream of the John, I think.
It's a vision.
Vision, right, vision.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not Jesus saying it's the vision of the John, right? Yeah.
No, it's Jesus saying it. Jesus comes to him.
But it was the vision of the John.
Yeah, vision is revelation.
Yeah. So Jesus says, I am the Alpha, the Omega, I am the first and the last, I am the beginning and the end, right?
Yes.
So what does the word Alpha and Omega mean?
So Alpha and Omega is referring to the first and last letters of the alphabet.
Okay. Okay. So it is eternal, meaning
exactly.
eternal, right?
Yes, exactly. Means
okay.
eternal. He's infinite. He never came into existence and he will never cease to exist.
But I think Melchizedek, for example, in the Bible, according to Hebrews chapter 7, does not have any beginning or the end.
Oh no, that's talking about his record. It talks about how he appears out of nowhere, how there's no record of his birth, no ending.
But
no
he has
record
also no beginning or the end, right?
No, he was born and he died, but they just don't know when. So since it's talking about in that context, talking about his priesthood and talking about how a priesthood ends with a priesthood and a covenant ends with the person that made it when they die. Now, because with Melchizedek, it says, well, they don't have a beginning of his days, nor ending of his life, nor a mother or a father. They don't have his genealogy. They don't have a record of this. So that's why his priesthood still remains, because there's no record of his death.
But it says that Melchizedek is eternal.
No, it doesn't.
I can show you.
Okay. Yeah, show me where it says he's
Hebrews
eternal.
Open Hebrews chapter 7, verse 1 to 3.
You said Hebrews 1?
Hebrews chapter 7, verse 1 to 3.
Oh, Hebrews 7. Yeah. It doesn't say he's eternal here, bro.
But
I know
it means he's eternal, right?
I just broke it down to you. So explain to me what I just.
You said that they have no record of Melchizedek or its genealogy.
Can you hear me?
Right?
Okay, sorry. Yeah. My computer just did something weird, but okay, yeah. So sorry, say that again.
I'm saying that you said that they have no record of Melchizedek of his beginning or the end. They have no record. You said.
Correct. So notice the difference. Jesus says that I am the beginning and I am the end, the first and the last, the Alpha and Omega. Here in Hebrews 7, it doesn't say that Melchizedek is the beginning and he is the end. It just says there is no beginning of his days nor ending of his life, no genealogy. There's no record of it. So it doesn't call him. It doesn't call him the beginning and the end.
So you are saying that they have no record, right?
Yeah.
But it does not say in the Bible that they have no record.
That's what the context says.
It said, he blessed Abraham when he was returning from the war, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it does not say that they have no record. It says he has no beginning or the beginning of the days or end of the days. It means he's eternal. Beginning of the days, it clearly means that he's eternal.
It says he is without father or mother or genealogy, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but resembling the Son of God, he continues a priest forever. You see that?
Right.
See how great this man it was, to whom Abraham, the patriarch, gave a tenth of the spoils.
He was also the Son of God.
So do you see here? Do you see here how it says, I was talking about his genealogy and how because of this, he remains a priest forever since there's no ending of his days. It's called context. Now, here's my question to you. Does it say that he is the beginning and the end?
It says he has no beginning or the end.
Does it? No, it doesn't. It says he has no beginning of days. He is without father or mother or genealogy, having neither beginning of days nor end of life. Do you see that?
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm
talking about his record, but resembling the Son of God, he continues a priest forever. Do you see how this is in relation to his priestly order?
Yeah, he's priest forever.
Right. So all of this is in context in his priestly order. A priesthood ends when the person dies. Since they don't know when he dies, there's no record of his death, his priesthood remains. So we see a stark difference between the context of surrounding Melchizedek and then what Jesus blatantly and explicitly says, I am the beginning and the end. I am the first, I am the last. I am Alpha and I am Omega. It's two different things.
So most of the Christians say that Jesus is Melchizedek.
No, they don't.
I've listened to so many Christians that say that Jesus is Melchizedek.
Are you a STEM professional and are looking to apply for U.S. permanent residency? Then stay tuned, because today I'm going to be discussing.
To say that most is wrong. I do acknowledge that there are some Christians that have an understanding like that. I disagree with that because it says that he resembles the Son of God. He's not the Son of God himself.
So Milkith is also called the Son of God, right?
No. It says that he resembles the Son of God.
The Son of God.
Yeah. So just to be clear, we see how Jesus claims to be God in Revelation, right? Beginning and end, first and the last, the Alpha and the Omega.
Well, I think Jeremiah is also claimed to be eternal.
Well, that's fine, but can we just focus on this claim here that I am the beginning and the end, the Alpha and Omega, the first and the last? Can we come to an understanding together that he's claiming to be God there?
He's claiming to be eternal, right?
So he's claiming to be God?
He's claiming to be eternal.
So is he claiming to be God when he says he's the first and the last, the beginning and the end, the Alpha and Omega? Simple question, bro.
He's not claiming to be God. He's claiming to be eternal.
Got it. Who's the first and the last?
The first and the last.
Yeah, who is that?
The God.
Okay, so if Jesus says that he's the first and the last, who is he claiming to be?
Jesus is claiming to be God according to the Bible, but Jeremiah is also claiming to be first and the last.
All right, show me. Show me the verse where Jeremiah says he's the first.
I have to find it. Wait a second. I have to find it.
Sure, no problem. In the meantime, as he's getting that, guys, make sure you guys hit the like button for me. Hit that like button. We're about to see where.
If I go to.
Yeah, take your time.
I can be disconnected, right?
Take your time. Take your time. It's okay. We got time.
I'm coming right now. Okay.
Avery, personal question. Do you believe the rapture is pre-tribulation or post-tribulation? I believe that the second coming of Christ is post-tribulation. That's where I stand right now. Am I dogmatic about it? No, but that's just where I stand right now. So we got Ali Pedro who says Muhammad.
All right, guys. Let's see if we can have another brother in the house, because the previous brother, I think he left. He's not coming back. He went to look for some document, but document that will never that never exist. So let me see if I can find a timeline where we can have somebody else discussing. All right, let me go ahead and end this session. So, and then we're gonna bring somebody else in. All right. Shalom.